Joining us now, former FBI Special Agent and attorney Stuart Kaplan. Stuart, thank you so much for being here this morning. This information continues to flood into the newsroom. We now know authorities are looking into the identity of this suspect, the driver, who is now deceased. How are they digging? Where are they digging specifically, Stuart, to reveal a potential motive in this case?
Good morning, Kelly, and thank you for having me. And just so your viewers know, I'm very familiar with New Orleans. I spent the best part of my life, 4 years there. Still very tied into that community, as well as the local and state and federal law enforcement. What I can tell you is because the bad actor was shot and killed, what they're doing right now and very hastily and very quickly is to work backwards. There is some information out there, and I will say to your viewing audience, if you are planning to attend any additional celebrations today, if you see something, say something. This may be a bigger, larger plot, a more coordinated effort towards other venues. This was a very well thought out and planned act. This is an act of terrorism, that is the use of violence to create fear. Fortunately, New Orleans, which has the best preparation with respect to large venues such as this, because they do this all the time, fortunately, they were able to neutralize this threat very quickly, notwithstanding 10 people and many others were killed and injured. But we need to be very vigilant right now, today, because there may be other attacks that are coming our way.
Yeah. We know even after authorities make connections, begin to put the pieces of this puzzle together, there is information they keep under wraps until they're ready to release it. As we await a press conference at 11 a.m. Central Time, would you mind providing some context for us? What sort of information falls under that category and why?
Well, let me first just say it is impossible in 2024, now 2025, to go unidentified with respect to not being able to quickly identify people such as who carry out these type of horrendous acts. And so it is my understanding this individual has already been identified as much as what or how he or where he came from. I will suggest this may be a byproduct of our unfortunate open border policies. Perhaps coming through our southern border not too long ago, within the last week. And of course, unfortunately, this is the catastrophic result of an individual who was able to now create panic and fear and concerns as we move forward into a new year. And so the FBI, with its counterparts, is moving very, very quickly, given the urgency of other events that are scheduled today to try to identify and neutralize potential additional bad actors that have already been in the planning and preparation stage.
Well, that sounds like a very specific assessment of this situation. May I ask you what leads you to that assessment? Is there any additional information you may be able to share?
Well, let me just say this. The individual who carried out this attack in New Orleans was very heavily armed. He was wearing body armor. He had improvised explosive devices. There's information to suggest that he had assistants and others who aided and abetted. And like I said, it is impossible to carry out your private life in public, meaning that all of us are under constant scrutiny and surveillance. And certainly this individual now coming into contact with the FBI, federal, state, and local law enforcement and other assets that are available to our federal law enforcement partners will be able to easily backtrack and identify who this individual is, where he was just prior to last night's event, and several days following.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.